Loyalty does not make you strong. Loyalty makes you predictable. And the moment you become predictable, someone else begins to control you. You already feel this. You see the moves people make around you, the small smiles, the quiet dismissals, the moments when your loyalty becomes expected instead of respected. You are not confused. You are exhausted. You are smart enough to see the game. You notice the tone shifts. You notice who interrupts you. You notice who ignores you until they need something. But you still play by rules they abandoned years ago. You stay loyal. You stay fair. You stay consistent. And slowly, quietly, they move you out of the center of the room. You know this feeling, that heavy moment after a conversation ends. The moment you realize someone just used you. You replay the scene. You hear every word again. You see the manipulation clearly. Too late. You do not lack intelligence. You lack permission to become dangerous. Tonight, that changes. Before this ends, you will see loyalty the way power sees it. And once you see it, you cannot return to the old version of yourself. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present needs that he who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." You think loyalty proves your character. Power sees something else. Power sees a leash. When people know you will stay loyal, they stop respecting you. They begin managing you. You already know the moment this shift happens. You felt it. At first, they value you. They listen carefully. They treat you like an equal. Then they realize something. You will not betray them. You will not challenge them. You will not walk away. That is when the respect fades, because power speaks a language. And loyalty, when it becomes guaranteed, tells everyone in the room you do not speak it. People who understand power move differently. They leave questions in the air. They create uncertainty. They never allow anyone to predict their final move. You did the opposite. You showed your loyalty too early. You proved it too often. You treated loyalty like a virtue. But power treats loyalty like currency. Currency loses value when it becomes unlimited. Listen carefully. The most loyal person in any room is rarely the most respected person in that room. They are the safest person to exploit. You have seen it happen. The loyal worker gets more work. The loyal friend gets ignored. The loyal partner gets replaced. Not because loyalty is bad, because loyalty without leverage invites contempt. That is the first rule. And if that idea makes you uncomfortable, that means you are finally close to understanding the game. Most people stop here. They reject this idea. They protect the old story in their head. But a small group of people continue listening. Those people want the truth more than comfort. You must decide which one you are. Now, look back at the rooms where you lost respect. Look carefully. When did people stop negotiating with you? When did they stop trying to impress you? When did they start assuming your answer before you even spoke? That moment reveals everything. Because once someone predicts your loyalty, they stop fearing your absence. And the moment someone stops fearing your absence, your influence disappears. Julius Caesar understood this long before his empire grew. He rewarded loyalty, but he never made his loyalty predictable. He changed alliances. He shifted support. He kept everyone guessing. Even his closest allies never felt completely secure. That uncertainty kept them loyal. Do you see the difference? Caesar did not control people with loyalty. He controlled them with possibility. Possibility of reward, possibility of removal, possibility of betrayal. Power speaks in possibilities. Predictability kills it. People give speeches about loyalty. They praise it. They celebrate it. They pretend it is the highest virtue. But watch what they actually respect. They respect leverage. They respect the person who might walk away. They respect the person who might turn. They respect the person who does not need them. That is the truth most people refuse to face. You probably lived the opposite life. You proved your loyalty again and again. You stayed when you should have left. You defended people who did not defend you. You protected relationships that quietly weakened you. And you told yourself loyalty made you honorable. But deep down you felt the shift. You saw people treating you differently. Less caution, less respect, less effort. That was not random. That was the cost of predictability. Here is the line most people never admit out loud. The people who benefited from your loyalty never planned to return it. You stayed loyal. They stayed strategic. You played a moral game. They played a power game. Those are two different worlds, and only one of them wins. Some of you listening right now know exactly who this applies to. You already see their face. You already remember the moment they realized you would never turn against them. That was the moment the balance changed. And if you have ever stayed loyal long after you knew someone no longer respected you, then you already crossed that line once. Now the real question appears. Will you cross it again? Because the next idea will challenge everything you believe about loyalty. And most people are not ready for it. They turn away here. They close the video. They protect the comfortable lie. But the few who stay will see the real weapon hidden inside betrayal. Yes, betrayal, not reckless betrayal. Not emotional revenge, strategic betrayal, rare, precise, controlled. A single unexpected betrayal can reset an entire power structure. You think betrayal destroys trust. Sometimes it does. But predictable obedience destroys respect faster. And respect controls the room. Look at history. Joseph Stalin built one of the most feared power structures in modern history. He did not do it with loyalty. He did it with controlled uncertainty. He promoted allies, then he removed them. He rewarded devotion, then he punished it. His inner circle never felt secure. That fear created obedience stronger than loyalty ever could. You may hate that example. Good, you should. But ignoring the strategy does not make it disappear. You must study power even when you dislike it. Because the people who hurt you already studied it. Now pause for a moment. Think about someone who believes they fully control you. Someone who assumes your loyalty. Someone who expects your support without question. That person feels safe. Too safe. And safety breeds arrogance. This is where selective betrayal becomes powerful. You do not destroy the relationship. You shift the balance. One unexpected refusal. One alliance change. One moment where you choose yourself instead of them. Suddenly, the room changes. People look at you differently. They begin calculating again. They ask new questions. They wonder what else they misunderstood about you. That moment matters more than years of loyalty. Because power does not respect promises. Power respects uncertainty. You are not becoming cruel. You are becoming fluent in the language of power. And fluency changes everything. Here is a truth many people recognize but never say. At least once in your life, someone treated you like a resource instead of a person. You stayed loyal anyway. You stayed quiet. You stayed predictable. And they kept using you. You remember it clearly. You just never said it out loud. Silence protected them. Now silence will protect you. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a weapon, not the silence of fear, the silence of decision, the silence of someone who already knows the next move. When you stop explaining yourself, people grow uncomfortable. When you stop chasing approval, people grow curious. When you stop proving loyalty, people start proving theirs. This shift changes everything. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." Most people misunderstand that line. They think deception means lying. It means something deeper. It means controlling what others believe about your intentions. If they think you are predictable, they stop protecting themselves. If they think you might change, they become careful. Care creates respect. Respect restores power. Now imagine this shift inside your own life. You stop offering instant loyalty. You stop answering every request. You stop explaining every decision. You watch. You listen. You let silence sit in the room. People begin filling that silence with effort. Because humans fear losing access to someone they cannot control. And control disappears the moment predictability disappears. This is where the ignored become unstoppable. Most people hate the phase where nobody takes them seriously. They suffer inside it. They complain about it. They try to escape it. But the ignored phase is a laboratory. Nobody watches you closely. Nobody expects anything dangerous from you. That invisibility is power. You observe. You learn the language of power. You study every move people make. Then, one day, something changes. You stop reacting. You start deciding. And suddenly, the same people who ignored you start watching you carefully. Respect grows fastest in the space where your loyalty used to live. If that sentence unsettles you, that means you still believe loyalty alone creates value. It does not. Value comes from controlled access, and controlled access requires the ability to walk away. Look at history again. During the Watergate scandal, powerful men believed loyalty would protect them. They built networks of silence. They expected allies to stay loyal forever. Then pressure arrived. One person spoke. Then another. The loyalty network collapsed, and the most powerful office in the world fell apart. Why? Because loyalty built on fear and convenience never lasts. Power built on independence does. The strongest person in any relationship is the person who can leave. Not loudly, not dramatically, calmly, silently, without hesitation. That person controls the balance. Because everyone else depends on something: approval, position, access, comfort. But the person who can walk away depends on nothing. Power never belongs to the most loyal person. Power belongs to the least dependent one. Remember the three things you learned tonight. Power is a language, silence is a weapon, and the ignored phase is a laboratory. If you learn the language of power, rooms change when you enter them. If you master silence, people reveal themselves without realizing it. If you survive the ignored phase, you build something others never prepared to face. Now, you understand loyalty differently. Loyalty is not identity. Loyalty is a choice, and choices can change. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That line does not mean kindness. It means discipline. It means control. It means choosing action over explanation. Tonight, you saw the structure behind the game that shaped many of your past defeats. Now, you have a decision. Most people will return to the old pattern tomorrow. They will stay predictable. They will stay loyal. They will stay manageable. But a smaller group will begin studying power. They will watch people more carefully. They will speak less. They will move differently. If you recognize yourself in that second group, then mark the moment. Press like, subscribe, not for entertainment, as a signal to yourself that you refuse to remain predictable. Then write one sentence below, not for anyone else, for the person you will become. Write this: "I will never trade my power for predictable loyalty again." Because once you see the game clearly, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The world does not exploit the weak. The world exploits the predictable.